back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back, one. Welcome back. Today we are receiving more bear news coming out from the stock market. A lot of uncertainty are filling up as the American people are seeing a strong sign of the U.S. entering a recession here. And as of right now, we are hearing that many American people are believing that the U.S. economy is headed in a terrible direction as of now. So just recently, JPMorgan forecast that the Fed will raise up another big hike this September. So they are expecting the Fed to raise up another 75 basic point within their September meeting. So this is very alarming right now because the Fed main goal is to tame inflation. And the only way they can tame inflation is by minimizing the uses of the US dollar and limiting the circulation of the dollar within the US economy. And when that happened, we have seen the economy begin to stall and begin to decline. Right now, they say after some pretty strong data coming out from the market in the month of July, they are sensing that the Fed is more likely to raise up another 75 basic point in order to tame inflation at a very considerate rate here. So when the past two meeting, they have raised 75 basic point, and now we are expecting our third meeting for another 75 basic point raise hike. So this is just the beginning of tighter monetary policy, and investors are very concerned the possibility of the U.S. entering a recession because right now the Fed is limiting these tech company or any company from access to the financial institution. So let's look forward. Important data were out today, and for Tuesday we have important data. The S&P U.S. Manufacturing PMI Index fell, folks. So we did miss forecast expectation. Our expectation was to be around 51.9, but however, our actual data was around 51.3. Also, S&P 5 U.S. Services PMI. Right now, their forecast was at 49 point, and our actual was 44.1 point. What we are seeing, missing expectation, and the market is not looking good with these data coming out as slower demand for product is coming. And we are seeing consumer are now spending less money because inflation is on the rise. They are feeling the pain of inflation. So right now, they are adopting conservative buying power. Let's look forward. So there was a recent study, and right now they say like 72% of economics expect the U.S. to enter a recession next year, folks. Next year. This is terrible. This is terrible. Let's look here. The Federal Reserve is unlikely to tame inflation without the push in the U.S. economy into a recession, according to a survey of economics released Monday. Isn't that troubling? What they say is, if the Fed could tame inflation without pushing the U.S. economy into a recession, it is impossible. It is impossible. They say 72% of economics polled by the National Association of Business Economics expect the U.S. recession will begin by the mid of next year. This is just the beginning, a very gloomy forecast for the U.S. economy. And right now, people are fearing, economic are worrying that with ongoing interest rate, the U.S. might slow down within our economy. We have seen our GDP shrink. So that's very discouraging to investors and to the American people. Let's look forward. Very shocking news coming out. BMI say, hey guys, we are feeling the pain of inflation. And now we are forced to cut around 10% of our workforce in order to meet the business need and operation. Inflation is hurting the American business, it is hurting foreign entity, it is hurting the American people at most. So BMI is one of the two largest performance right organizations in the US, and they announced layoff of just under 10% of their workforce last week. Right now, this move just comes shortly after they plan to sell their Pro, which represents some of the world's biggest artists in the US, and pour in more than $1 billion in revenue annually. were abandoned after the organization did not meet a target price. This is just the beginning, folks. Bad news are coming out from the market as many people are now fearing the possibility of the U.S. entering a recession is very high, very, very high. President and CEO Mike O'Neill announced the cut in an email obtained by the outlet. I'm ready to let you know about some difficult action we took today. After a careful and comprehensive review process, we are reducing BMI total workforce by just under 10%. Through a combination of headcount reduction and not filling a number of current open positions. This is troubling, folks. Any open position here will not be filled. They say the impact most department is effective immediately. That's just the beginning of how serious the Fed raising up the interest rate and what are the consequential financial aspects as a result. Let's look forward. OVH say, hey, we had to raise up our service price. We cannot survive this. This is not good. OVH decide to raise up their price. And what they say, hey, inflation is the problem. You have to blame inflation. We as a business must meet the demand of inflation. And as a result, we are now raising up our price for that good and services. Let's look more from OVH. Let's see what they have to tell us. OVH is a French cloud company, and they decide to hike up their service price. So there was a Monday post penned by founder Octave Calaba and CEO Michael Powell claimed that customers need to fork out more money because energy prices have risen 39.7%, while the inflation rate in France hit 8.9% in July. This is a problem, folks. This is a problem. They say it is a significant increase that we must pass on to all the services directly related to the electricity consumption of our infrastructure. So they say for new and existing customers will feel the pain because inflation is hurting the people, hurting business entity. Let's look forward, last but not least. So Amazon decided to say, hey, we are pausing our mission to launch out our fresh grocery store due to ongoing costs and rising inflation. There was a just announcement coming out from Amazon in United Kingdom. They say, hey, we are just slowing down to roll out our new high-tech Amazon Fresh supermarket in the United Kingdom. But it seems like right now, cost of living crisis, the cost of inflation has gone up significantly in UK. And many companies are now taking a lot of precaution in order to minimize their risk from losing significant chunk of profit and money within their investment. And then, what are my thoughts with the U.S. economy as of right now? As of right now, we are seeing ongoing fear as recession concerns are mounting, and more American people are worried the possibility of the U.S. entering a recession. So be on the lookout, and we will keep you guys updated with more daily information. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.